Alright lads, so today we got some pretty exciting news in regards to our next set of resurrectable characters. I've yet to see what they are going to offer. Honestly, since it is a premium batch, I'm not expecting anything super crazy besides maybe some decent links. However, with that said, I think it's quite worth noting that this is our second resurrection batch this month without getting a 1000-year Blood War resurrection batch. For those that don't know, at least in the last 4 or so years, right, it's been one resurrection batch a month, unless during certain occasions like anniversary, end of year, or when a 1000-year Blood War banner is resurrected. Since 1000-year Blood War is now done, the first 14 rounds are resurrected. We're not going to get another 1000-year Blood War batch for quite some time. We saw earlier this month, 2 weeks ago, we got Can't on World round 4 resurrected, so we should hopefully be continuing on with the Can't World batches. But luckily, that also means that we're also still getting a second batch that month at the end of the month. So it seems like, at least for the time being, hopefully, we are going to continue on with the 2 resurrection batches a month. And likely every mid-month now, we are going to get Can't World resurrections. At least one would hope so, because we are still quite behind when it comes to Can't World. With that said, today we have EDRAD, GRIMMJOW, and Ikaku receiving their upgrades. At least when this banner came out, this was also when they first started to do more than 5 steps. Nowadays, 25 steps and even sometimes 50 steps is the norm. But back around 2020 when they first added step-up formats, it was only ever 5 to 10 steps, and it was slowly ever approaching 25. This banner I'm quite fond of. I do actually remember pulling on this banner, and I was also quite big fans of the characters. Even EDRAD, because he actually carried me quite a bit in Sankamon content because there was stages designed for him. Even though I said I'm a big fan of the characters, this GRIMMJOW I actually did not like playing. He was a character based around being at full stamina, had a really high damage output for his time. I mean, he's a mid-month character, mind you, back in 2020. Had Frenzy +1, a 40% Berserker, an additional 20%, and then 25% more damage at full stamina. With a good killer, that was actually really good for a mid-month. He was only lacking Havoc, which is something mid-month characters didn't get then. But my problem with this character was always about him not having any good survivability. But in all honesty, at least with his resurrection, if you can get Havoc as part of his upgrade, I'm actually going to be quite happy about that, because I actually do want to see this character with more range, because that was always my biggest problem with him. So as far as this soul trait is concerned, since it is an enhanced full stamina damage soul trait, I want to see recharge. If they want to do strong attack damage, I would also take that. But truthfully, I just want to see recharge because he is a technique link. So putting that link on someone like Grammy or even Giselle, honestly, is going to be pretty good, especially Giselle, since she does have the extra 2% recharge. If GRIMMJOW does pick up recharge here, it's only going to be 10%, and that extra 2% recharge that Giselle does have would make up for the 2% recharge that this character is going to potentially miss. In terms of skills, Guard Break seems to be the norm, so he likely is going to get that somewhere here. And again, I'm just hoping for some maybe Berserker increase, if he even can. He already does have a good damage output for his time. I'm really not sure how they're going to increase his damage output. And I would also really love to see Havoc. Havoc on this character, I think, would be really good. So like always, shout out to Molly Prim over on Reddit for the data mines. Here we go. So first and foremost, Soul Trait is full stamina damage and also recharge. That's really good. That's what we want to see for a character like this. He picked up Guard Break as far as innate skills are concerned. Keep in mind, only one innate skill here. And then when it comes to the skills, his Berserker went up by 20%. Is that correct? It did. So he got a 20% strong attack damage increase. And he also... Wait, hold on. I see. I actually didn't realize that. So the character already had recharge built into the character. So that's kind of funny. That's really funny, but I am glad they did this. So they removed his 12% recharge and put it into the soul trait. So unironically, this character, in a way, you can look at it as a nerf. He lost 2% recharge, but it does work in his favor because that meant he was able to get, I believe, weakened defense, right? Is that the new skill? Weakened defense and also Havoc, by the way, and also Havoc. Hopefully no one complains about him losing the recharge. I think that is for the best because it makes him a good link now. But I'd say as far as resurrections go, I mean, especially for a premium character here, this is actually really good. He got the Havoc. That's really good range because he has good strong attacks. I'm actually kind of excited to try him out again. He got a 20% strong attack damage increase, and the character itself already had a decent damage output for the time, right? He got the Guard Break, so that's technically a damage increase. And he's also now a really good link for any technique character, especially ones that have 14% recharge. I guess the weakened defense is a bit of a wasted skill here. That could have been anything else, in all honesty. Not really sure what that could have been. To be fair, you know, they don't want him to have super high damage output, I guess, but if this was 50% damage to enemies not afflicted by an ailment, this would have been an absolutely crazy resurrection. But either way, from what I'm seeing here with GRIMMJOW, I'm actually relatively happy with it. An overall good link, more range, got the Guard Break, and also more damage. Honestly, for me, can't really complain about that. Going into Ikaku. Now remember, Ikaku was a character that we were using in Brave Battles until like 2 months ago when Arskin got introduced. And technically some people are still using him. He was never a Brave Battle unit, but at the same time he kind of was for those that did have this character max transcended with the idea of going a full defense builder, because he basically fulfilled the same role as Chad with the benefit of having more defense stat, I believe, but also last ditch, until they later on added, you know, ignore last ditch, right? So with that said, I'm not sure how they're going to build this character. Are they going to build him in mind for guild quests? Are they going to build him in mind for Brave Battles? I highly doubt that. I'm really not sure what they're going to do for him. Maybe just give him more damage output. Most importantly though, I think what we want to see here is a good soul trait. He's a 16% DR soul trait. I have him max transcended, so if we could get extra skills here, that'll be good for any future speed Brave Battle character like the current Arskin. A character like this really only wants to see normal attack damage as the soul trait. In terms of skills here, I mean, I guess he's going to pick up guard break. That'll be decent for him, but no one's actually going to use him in PvE content, right? Maybe more bruiser, maybe booster would be actually quite good for him. Even if you are using him in Brave Battle still, booster would actually be a really good skill for him to pick up. So there is some potential here, so let's see what he is getting. So first up, damage taken minus 60% and damage at low stamina. Not the greatest. Weirdly enough, this character got 2 innate skills where GRIMMJOW only got 1. That's super unfortunate, but he did pick up guard break and also poison resistance. Poison resistance is for his guild quest, by the way. His bruiser went up by 20%, so we got a 20% damage increase, technically 44% with the damage at low stamina. And I believe that's it. Unfortunately, they didn't remove the weaken duration. That would have been better. He just doesn't need that. I guess it helps him out in Brave Battles, but no booster skill here. So yeah, for the most part, he's technically a bit better in GQ, more so just for that resistance. As a soul trait, not so much. I don't ever see myself using a soul trait like this. I don't dislike low stamina as soul trait. I feel like we need more of those still. And again, I would always love for a way for Killer to somehow make low stamina goods. And the simplest way of doing that is just make certain characters start at low stamina, maybe have that as a skill or an accessory, for example. But this combination is not that good. You're not really going to use it. But then again, to be fair, characters like Arskin does have persistence, so they are going to be at low stamina, right? So maybe he can get a usage out of this, to be fair. But you're likely still just better off bringing DR and normal attack damage. And then as for the skills, basically just a guild quest upgrades. And then last up, we have Edrad. I remember when this character got announced, I was like, no way we just got a Fierce Battle Edrad before Aaroniero. And it took us years before we got a Fierce Battle Aaroniero. Either way, this character is kind of like Xiaolong in a sense that he's just there for Sankamon. You know, at the time he had Human Killer. Human Killer nowadays is kind of normalized, especially because we have the Human Killer guild quest. But back when this character released, the only use for Human Killer was basically a very annoying and restrictive Sankamon stage. And this character, to my knowledge, I believe has like 2-3 stages designed for him. So I even got him close to max transcendence because I use this character almost every month for Sankamon. In terms of the soul trait, I'm definitely expecting to see damage to burn here. I mean, Mind already got plenty of good links. He's the 12% recharge. If he gets a good second soul trait, cool, that's great. Likely though, he's going to get damage to burn. And even with that, the damage to burning enemy's skill is going to go up by 10% to 30. Berserker can go up by like 30% probably. He already has guard break, so I'd love to see Havoc here. And that's basically all he really needs. So scrolling down, he did indeed get strong attack recharge and damage to burning enemies. Is there any mind character that would want to have damage to burning? Right now, I honestly can't think of anyone. There probably is one. He did pick up Havoc plus 20%. That's actually pretty good. His Berserker went up by 10%, so not that high to be honest. But he did get a 20% increase on his damage to burning enemies. So technically, this character saw a 50% damage increase. And to be fair, that kind of seems to be the norm whenever Killer are upgrading characters, is they get like a 50% damage increase. And unfortunately, and that's why someone like Barugan, who we've yet to showcase, I might do that tomorrow today, if the character has weakening, they technically have that 50% damage increase upon inflicting weakening, and Kayla for some reason take that into account and give them less damage increase skills. And that's usually why a character that has weakening doesn't get a big damage increase, because for some reason Kayla take that 50% into effect when trying to balance these characters. Either way though, decent resurrection badge all around for a premium banner. So yeah, overall, I'm actually relatively happy, content with this resurrection batch. We got a pretty good link with GRIMMJOW. Edrad and Ikaku's resurrections aren't anything super crazy, but they all got decent upgrades, especially GRIMMJOW with, you know, the guard break, the extra havoc, and also the extra damage output. Not too bad as far as premium characters standards are concerned, but most importantly, I'm more excited about the fact that we are getting a second resurrection batch this month. That wasn't guaranteed to happen, and hopefully this means now for the foreseeable future, the next couple of some months, we can go into current mode mid-month resurrections, and then premium seasonal end-of-month resurrections. Because we are quite behind, so this is going to be a good way to try and kind of speed through it, hopefully. Either way, in the comments below, let me know what you think about the character's resurrections. I'll see you guys next time. Take care, and peace.